What is up, guys? Welcome to Real Fun Times. I'm Snoelle.
I'm the doctor.
And you're listening to our third minisode. This week, the doctor and I are going to just kind of pseudo-interview each other with some fun questions that we have not talked about previously, just to let the viewer get to know us a little bit better.
Pseudo-interview / real casual conversation / I'm not real sure what's going to happen in this episode / I'm excited.
I am too. I think this is going to be a lot of fun because this is totally, everything's always off the cuff.
What are we calling this one?
A few of our favorite things.
Is that it?
Is that right? I don't want to sing it. I don't want to do it.
You shouldn't. But these are a few of our favorite things. So glad we're starting strong.
Yeah.
On the same page already. But yeah, so we will talk a little bit about some movies we love. And then just see what happens.
Yeah, a couple other questions,
Yeah.
So,
we wanted to talk about movies we love, but we didn't really talk much more about this episode other than that. So we took completely different approaches to this little project.
Par for the course.
Yes. I decided to just, like a crazy person, just start writing down movies. Movies I love, movies that made impressions on me, movies I've seen multiple times. There's no rhyme or reason. I started with the genre. And I was like, that's crazy. What kind of a crazy person? It's like, I'll switch to decades.
Jesus.
Yeah, there's not a lot of order outside of that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot written down on these papers, I'll tell you that much. What was your approach?
I thought of a bunch of questions I wanted to ask you. I'd say half of which have to do with movies and that kind of thing, and the other half are just...
Oh, I've got some questions too.
Yeah.
I did not forget that part of the assignment. They're interesting. Hopefully, I'm headed the right direction. I didn't know what I was doing.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'm bad at school.
I hate taking tests. I'm a bad test taker, too.
Me too. Yeah, but that's okay.
It's all right.
It's all right. So, we had a little
powwow.
Little huddle. And we thought, I'm just going to start rattling off these movies, and you stop me when you want to talk about
She's got paragraphs of movie titles.
There's so many movies. I took the wrong approach.
I didn't take the right one.
I think it was supposed to be like 1 or 2 favorite movies, and I just started writing all the movies.
I've seen that one. Yep. All right.
Love that. Mm-hmm. Laugh that. Yep. Did I see that one? I like the name.
This one had the best cover.
Loved it. I used to work at Blockbuster. It was all about the covers.
Nice.
The cover game.
What was your least favorite thing that people did when they came into Blockbuster? Or
asking for a movie that they had no idea what was titled or who was in it or what it was about.
Oh my God, I bet. Oh my God.
It happens a lot more than you think. It's
people
that
are the worst.
New movie with that guy that was in that show. You know the one, right? But that Blockbuster gig was fun. Nice. I was a smidge too old was the only problem. But I knew Blockbuster was on its way out, and I wanted to work there.
That's awesome.
I've always loved movies, so it seemed to make sense to me. So, starting with the 70s, I had Alien.
Great. Fantastic movie.
Superman, the first one.
Okay.
Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Holy Grail.
Oh, Monty Python. Oh my God. Yes. That's one of my dad's favorite movies, actually.
Now, let's talk here. Which one of their movies is your favorite?
I really love Life of Brian.
So good. I struggled with those two.
But like
Holy Grail
is just hits
it's almost perfect.
It hits every single thing it needs to. And it's
in that movie so old. That's what came to mind while I was compiling this stuff. It was like my idea of how old it was entirely based on when I saw it.
So you thought like probably like 90s, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's just not it.
And not like
the brilliance of how old this is, I think is...
Yeah, they nailed it.
Fuck yeah, they did. And then Young Frankenstein.
I loved Young Frankenstein.
One of my all-time favorites for sure. I would put that up there. So brilliant.
So good.
Again, a nearly perfect film.
Yeah.
They hit all the beats just right.
Now, not a movie that was anywhere close to being perfect, but did you ever see the movie Young Einstein?
Young Einstein.
It was starred this guy named Yahoo Serious.
No. I would have remembered that.
And he played like a young Australian Einstein.
Okay.
And I used to really enjoy it. My dad and I would watch it a lot when I was younger. And it was not a children's movie. That's
okay.
it.
But your parents were very open to
and it
you
came on
watching.
like USA or like, so it wasn't like...
I had like a string of 80s ones that I didn't put on here because they're great to me just because there were movies that my family just kept cycling through around that time.
Yeah.
Crocodile Dundee, 1 and 2.
Loved him. Mm-hmm.
Something in the Stone, Romancing the Stone, I think.
Yes, Romancing the Stone. Kathleen Turner, Michael Douglas.
Yes. And
Danny
the first
DeVito.
one, it's based in Colombia, so I think that's why my mom and I liked it a lot. Anything that you can recall from the 70s?
From the 70s, I'm quite sure there are, and they're just not. They're not in my like regular rotation.
Sure.
80s, different story.
I'm coming to the 80s here. So I think my list, you're going to nod a couple times, but you're going to have your own greats that we're going to talk about. So I've got Princess Bride.
Oh, my God.
One of the greats.
And again, they're trying to redo it. And
almost perfect. They're what?
Yeah, they're trying to redo it.
No.
Yeah. I can't get behind it.
There's so much more room for new things.
Yeah.
Even set it in the same universe. I'm okay with that. But have whole new character. Like, don't mess with something that was already amazing. There's no need.
It's damn near perfect.
Let us just have it the way it is. Too bad we're not in charge, Snelly.
Should be.
It's a real shamaroonie. So then I've got Empire Strikes Back. Of course, I love the entire trilogy.
Yes. But
But if I had to pick one of the originals, that would be it for me.
really?
How about you? New Hope? Jedi. Return of the Jedi.
I think
Ewoks?
Yoda.
Yeah.
That, and the Ewoks, my God. So cuddly, so precious. I always wanted one.
Yeah, totally. Just sit on big stumps together, eating candies,
Yeah.
whatever they're
Playing
into.
the little Ewok flute. Like,
Yes. We just talked about the indie series. Of those, I'm going to say Last Crusade for me.
yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah, it's hard to argue with that. The new one, and they're making another one. Didn't care for that latest one, but I'm not a Shia LaBeouf fan.
Fan. You're not a fan.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I'm really not either.
He almost annoys me to the point that I don't want to watch the film, and it's cost me some good films. He's made some good ones lately, but I'm just so annoyed. Then we have Airplane, A Fish Called Wanda,
Oh, God.
which follow-up to that in the 90s was great. Did you ever see Fierce Creatures?
Yes, I did. I don't remember a whole lot about it, but I do remember seeing it in the whole...
Amazing. Love that movie.
So back to Airplane real quick.
Yes.
I love...
Totally holds up.
Yeah, completely.
Don't call me Shirley. That's the one I always quote.
In fact, you did it to me the other day, I think.
I did.
Airplane crash movies were very, very big in the 80s.
Were they?
And for
I don't know if one. What's one?
Okay.
Oh, like Alive, where they had to eat each other, the soccer team?
Well, there was that kind of thing. But
guess
like
that's not what
there
you
was
meant.
just, and it wasn't even necessarily like blockbuster movies, like Lifetime or whoever made TV movies back
It
in the 80s.
was just a big theme back then.
And my nanny, may she rest, she had them like all on videotape.
Big fan.
And she made me, I watched them with her, which is
Little
probably
traumatized?
why I hate flying to this day.
I hate it as well. Not for the same reason. I didn't have that experience. Just the idea of being in a metal tube in the skies doesn't settle well with me.
Yeah, not into it.
I'm glad smarter people created it and run it. It's way better if I'm medicated in one way or another. You know what I mean? Wing, wing, wing. Oh, man. So then I have Three Amigos.
Oh, God.
Wonderful.
Now,
Grade A.
were you exposed to them more like SNL, or did you even really know
The
SNL?
movie. As a real young, like 8, 9
Okay.
is when I saw it and loved it. Didn't even know what SNL was. So I don't even think I've seen any of the SNL skits about it.
Okay. But just those guys being.
Oh, so it
having
wasn't
been.
a skit?
Yeah, yes. It was a skit.
It originated.
I believe so, yeah.
The movie was based off of a skit. Cool. I thought it was hilarious. Grade A stuff. Back to the Future. Of that run, I'd say the first one's my favorite.
Of that group, yes. Princess Bride forever. For me, Labyrinth was such an important movie to me when I was a kid. And because I'm pretty sure it's 89. I could be wrong. Maybe it's 90. So Ghostbusters 2.
Well, I think you misunderstand. I meant of the Back to the Future trilogy. The original
I'm very sorry.
No, you're fine. But you're right.
I'm so sorry.
Because the next thing was Ghostbusters for me, the original. You prefer the second.
I did, and I don't know why. I used to have 4 movies on a tape. Ghostbusters 2 was the second movie on the tape. And I would literally...
What was the first movie?
I don't remember. I wish I could remember.
It's hilarious. You would always fast forward?
Fast forward, and then literally the movie would be over. I would rewind it and watch it again.
Anything else that you like it from the 80s?
So a movie that's in the sombrero right now that's called Waxwork. It is... And I think, honestly, Waxwork was one of my first intros into the horror genre as a kid.
Great intro.
Yeah. And so to me, I think there's a lot of things about that movie that I still hold on to as far as, and even the application of applying it to movies I'm watching within that set of genre. It's just, I love that movie. I said, so definitely Princess Bride. Were you an E.T. fan?
I liked it, but it wasn't to me the passion that it was for a lot of people my age around that time.
Me either.
I liked it. It was fun. I was entertained, but it wasn't life-changing for me.
You know, it was life-changing for me. Goonies,
great movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That was just...
Absolutely.
I mean,
great
you wanted
movie.
you wanted to be them, you wanted to be friends with them, you wanted to have the adventure yourself with your friends. I mean, it was...
For sure.
I tried to show it to my youngest cousin, who is 17 years younger than me.
Okay.
And I tried to show it to her when she was probably in her 14, 15, and it just didn't hit with her. And it really hurt my feelings. It hurt my fucking feelings.
It does hurt when you're excited about something and then it just doesn't.
I don't get it.
Or they just don't like it as much as you wanted them to. It's like, bummer. I had a couple more for the 80s. I had Who Framed Roger Rabbit and Naked Gun.
Yeah,
Who Framed Roger Rabbit was revolutionary to me. For all of those
incredible.
characters to be together in such a way. So irreverent, so fucking awesome.
I wanted to be Jessica Rabbit 100%. I didn't want to be with a rabbit, clearly, but...
No, I get it. I think lots of people got it.
Yeah.
And that rounded it off for me for the 80s.
Okay, all right.
Now 90s gets a little more information in the 90s. Okay. So here we go. We've got Matrix. Of those, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that movie changed film. How they did shit forever. So I mean,
and what's his face that's in there? That's also
Keanu?
The one that's the bad guy.
Oh yes,
Hugo Weaving.
Amazing.
Such
what
good
a career.
Yeah, and he's literally been in so many famous trilogies.
So many.
And he's just
well deserved.
Yeah,
amazing. Then I've got Jurassic Park, which is a huge one for me. Number 1 all the way.
We talked about the other night.
Yes, I love Jurassic Park.
That is, to me, still one of the finest moments in cinema at the very end of the movie when, spoiler alert, guys, when the T-Rex is inside the thing and it said, when dinosaurs ruled the earth, that banner that floats down in front of the T-Rex. It's just such a beautiful moment. And still to this day, the dinosaurs, in fact, they did those dinosaurs like that in the, 93? 94?
94? I mean,
they made it look like that. And it's
also another nearly flawless film to me for the genre, for what it was doing. I mean, Steven Spielberg, maybe at his best.
The actors, I mean.
Yeah, what all the way around.
You know, I've got the Funko Pop of Jeff Goldblum when he's laying there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Life will find a way.
Yes.
So quotable. That's one big pile of shit. I could go on. You did it, you crazy son of a bitch. You did it.
Dinosaurs.
Wow. Okay, let's move on. Then I've got X-Men, the original. Also, one of the best comic book movies back then.
Okay.
That really let what current comic book movies do today. It was really the beginning of all that shit.
So I really like the X-Men franchise. Like, I love from the beginning to now. I've been a fan. Halle Berry, to me, almost ruined those movies.
Terrible Storm.
Because
she's a great actress.
She's a phenomenal actress.
But
she was absolute garbage in those movies.
She wasn't great. A Terrible Storm at that. Yeah, I would say I have watched the entire series, have loved 2 films, and that was the first one and then First Class, when they had the
First Class was so
introduction
good.
of the new young kids. I really loved that movie. Then we go on to Office Space, which
will forever be
one of the greats.
And to talk about quotable movies.
Oh man.
I mean,
I wouldn't say I miss it. Then I go on to Ace Ventura. Now I know, but I was just the right age for it. It got me in all the ways. I loved it. I had that one on repeat for probably a summer.
So was it Tone Loc that's in the movie with him?
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure that's who it is, the actor. I saw him live a couple of years ago in the I Love the 90s tour. He sings Funky Cole Medina and he's got kind of raspy voice. But during his, like 2 songs that were famous, during his set, if you will, there's this big video playing behind him of clips from his role in Ace Ventura.
Hilarious.
And then some other clips from some other
really
movie.
hanging on to that one.
Seriously. It had all these 90s actors, but you knew the faces, but you couldn't have named any of them. And I guess there was a lot of explosions, and we were pretty much watching the movie behind. It was hilarious. It was that and Ace Ventura on a 15-minute loop.
Amazing. Wow. I'm glad you got to see that live.
I am too.
Because if you had told me that story that you had heard, I would say that's absolute fabrication.
That's not true.
Your friends lied to your face. Then we go on to Austin Powers. Again, probably the first one was the best. And I remember the summer, it was in 99. It was all I could talk about. Yeah, maybe it was 97. The first one and the sequel was 99. Something. It was 90s. It was great.
I have 2 big quotes from, I believe it's the second movie, which again, I'm with you 100%. The first movie is far and away superior to all the other stuff.
Good sequels, though. Decent sequels.
The second one I liked. The third one I did not care for at all.
Yeah.
But 2 things I constantly say from the second movie is, there you are. Do I know you? No, but there you are. And the whole part where he's in the bathroom, he's like, who does number 2 work for?
Yes. Amazing.
And then Tom Arnold goes, what'd you eat? But I say those constantly.
Who does number 2 work for? I love that one. And
I usually say it to myself, but
oh my. This is a good time. Okay, then we go on to American Pie. Not, I would say, a great film, but at the moment I watched it, it was perfect for me. I was that age. I loved everything about it. And
I just rewatched that last week.
Does it hold up?
It does. For us, it does. I feel like if someone, you showed it to an 18, 19-year-old now, they're in some ways, I think they would relate, but I think for the majority of it, they would think this is stupid.
I would love to,
can I go TikTok now?
Rewatch it. It's been years. I hated all the sequels. Whatever I did try to watch, I think I maybe tried 2. There's been 20 since.
I watched the first 2 or 3. So I guess it was American Pie 2 and then Reunion and then beyond Reunion when they were all our age.
Yeah. Eugene Levy stuck around though. That was great.
He did.
But he's brilliant in anything.
Eugene forever. Yeah.
Forever. So then we go to Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Again, I wouldn't say it's the greatest film, but the time that I watched it, it was just right. And it
was perfection.
Hell of a time with it. Watched it that summer a lot.
Yeah, that used to be one of my good night movies that I would watch to fall
throw
asleep.
It on.
Yep.
Well, I was working in a movie theater at that time, so I just saw it for free a shit ton. Then that's going to go to Father of the Bride.
You're nailing it with these movies. That's such a great movie.
Such a sweet and hilarious movie. I loved the second one even.
I did too. Mm-hmm. And I loved Martin Short in that movie.
Oh, the best. That's one I think would still hold up. I haven't seen it in a while, but I think it still hold up.
I saw it probably 2 years ago, and I would say it holds up. I think about it every time I buy hot dogs. Is when he breaks down in the grocery store because the hot dogs come in a pack of whatever, and the hot dogs
And the
become
buns
like
in a
8
different.
or whatever, and he loses his shit.
Yeah.
And I think about that every single time I buy hot dogs for
I
a party.
have a mini tantrum like that in my head every time. I just don't let it out. And then I've got Happy Gilmore. Of all the 90s Sandler movies, that's probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Lots of greats. I had a hard time picking that between that and Big Daddy.
Well, yeah.
Which was a real good one.
Big Daddy was great.
We jump to Grumpy Old Men, Fight Club, Seven, Silence of the Lambs, That Thing You Do. Love that movie.
So much fun.
Genius movie.
Yeah.
I would say underrated.
It was. That movie did not do, I think, what they thought it was going to, which is a shame.
You're going to laugh at this one. Dangerous Minds. I know. It was one of those, I hit it at the right time, and I love the soundtrack. So it just really stuck in my mind.
I mean, soundtrack's
I
fire.
wouldn't say it was a great film.
Okay.
Independence Day, Armageddon. Those two. Super cheesy. It's supposed to be like, it's a big blockbuster, but I fell for both of them.
As did I. Now, okay, I know you're stone cold. We call you Stone Cold Doctor because you're just so like. But do you cry? Do you cry at movies?
Yeah, of course.
I guess I'm like trying to. I don't know that I've.
You've never witnessed it, but we
don't really watch stuff that we would cry.
Generate any type of emotion,
other than like laughter and embarrassment.
Yeah, what tends to get me is a good Pixar movie. It's hard for me to walk away from one of those without crying at some point, if not sobbing uncontrollably, like just ugly crying. Which is why I prefer to watch those alone the first time, just so I can have my situations.
Oh, I will cry every time after too. Like I can't.
I won't. Especially around people. Don't let it out.
How dare you?
Push it way down. And that's healthy.
Live with it. Yeah. Let it fester and become an ulcer. And
yeah. Then it kills me. It's fine. Then we go to Mission Impossible, the first one. Loved that movie. I thought it was brilliant. Then some of the latter ones, like the last one he did with homie Henry Cavill, but anything he's in, I almost love. Then
Justice League.
Then we have 300, Face Off, Speed, Point Break. One of the greats.
Point Break, fantastic. Speed, yes. 300, I got so many problems with 300.
I know you don't like that one, but I thought when I watched it, not only was there a shitload of hot dudes nearly naked fighting around, being all testosterone-y, I like the way they told the story, and I love the way the visuals back then were just really interesting, the way they made that film.
I will agree with you. Hotness all around in that movie. The way they shot it was super cool. My biggest issue was Gerard Butler pretending to be Sean
Connery?
I don't know why I wanted to add
Sean O'Connor.
Sean O'Connor.
Chicken. Mustard.
That's like chicken.
Deep fried chicken. That's different.
But Gerard Butler doing a Sean Connery accent as Leonidas the whole time. It
drove you crazy.
Drove me berserk. And because I am, we talked about this on the podcast before, I'm a huge fan of, Greek and Roman history and mythology. And but almost any historical movie, particularly something that's in somewhere in that ancient era, I'm going to have major problems with.
I hate Troy.
Fuck Troy.
Right? Terrible.
Hate that fucking movie.
It's hard for them to nail those.
Gods of Egypt. What did I say?
Oof, trash.
Yeah.
You know all about that. We did a whole episode on that guy. Okay, then I go on to The Fugitive, Twister, The Professional. Great.
Natalie Portman, right?
Movie. Oh my God. Can't say enough good stuff about that movie. The Fifth Element, which we've both talked about.
One of my top 5.
Huge fan.
Mm-hmm.
What did she say? Multipass. No multipass. Stargate. Again, probably not a great film, but I loved it. I love sci-fi though. Big fan. Shawshank Redemption. One of the greats, of course.
Just
American History X.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say one of the greats, but just really well made, really well acted, and powerful movie. For when I saw it, I was like, oh shit. Jumanji, the original,
amazing.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Although, I'm going to be honest, I don't hate the remake.
I didn't hate it.
I don't know that it was necessary. And I think it's an interesting way to add to that world with the newer, generations. The second movie, not as fun. Had some problems with it, but that first remake of Jumanji, I had a lot of fun. I love The Rock. Big fan.
So do I. And I like he and Kevin Hart together. I think they're hilarious.
Climb all over him. And that's what I had for the 90s.
So as far as the 90s, I got to add in Batman 2.
Yes. Okay.
I thought that Michelle Pfeiffer was it when it came to Catwoman. She is still my standard. I think her and Eartha Kitt are probably
Catwoman. Yeah, for sure. It definitely made me want to be Catwoman. It's like, oh my, you can do that.
It's like, and you be like lipsticked up and be a bad bitch. Mm-hmm. I wanted everything, that. Yeah. I even, of course, I have her as a Funko Pop.
Awesome.
So Batman 2, Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, which I've talked about before. Mm-hmm. Honestly, probably The Lion King.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I had a whole segment for animation, and then I was like, oh, my God, I'm going to be here forever. So I put Sausage Party, Surf's Up, anything Pixar, the Lego Movie, Wreck-It Ralph, all 90s Disney, and now Disney plus Pixar.
That's fair.
There's a lot of good shit in there.
There really
have
is.
A whole episode just talking about that.
Yeah, I think I probably have any animated film, I ugly cry hardest at Lion King.
Yeah.
Second, Coco. Just because
great
just
movie.
Weep.
That last Remember Me. Whew.
Yeah.
Lord.
I cannot.
It's hard to even talk about. You know what? Here's the thing, guys. I've been having fun talking about this stuff, but time is moving fast. We still got to ask each other some questions.
We do.
I say let's table the rest of the aughts for another minisode sometime in the future.
I like it.
Let's do it.
Okay. So now it's the question portion of our podcast.
Yes, our little mini interview.
Hello, welcome to Real Fun Times. I'm Noelle. Today I'm interviewing Drea.
That's
AKA
me.
The Doctor.
How do you spell Noelle?
Noelle. Cindy and Henry said extra L, extra E.
You don't know us.
And I was like, I like it.
I like it. It fits.
So everybody in my life calling me Nicole or Noel.
Noel,
get that a lot. When I was in middle school, I had to go do a presentation in front of my school. And mind you, I had very, very short hair when I was in middle school. I had like boy short hair.
Okay.
Stupid ass principal had never seen me before. She didn't know it was, and she just saw my name, which was written the way it's spelled, and she was like, "Newell, let's welcome him to the stage." And as like a little seventh grade girl, like that was already having major issues with her short haircut and being a foot taller than all the boys, and
in front of the entire
and some sweet
body.
acne, like. And a penchant for business casual. It was a rough time.
Sounds like high school. I wasn't a fan. I was super glad to be out. Wouldn't want to repeat it. Had some fun times. It wasn't like a disaster or anything. Just fuck high school. Fuck teen time.
Middle school was worse for me. That was middle school. That was
fun middle school.
Oh no,
I was kind of top of the pile there. So
yeah,
it was a good time. Well, why don't you begin, my friend?
Okay. My first question. What is a popular movie that people love that you hate, and why?
A popular movie.
Or something that's just like, it does so well, and everybody's like, oh, this movie is just, And you're like, fuck that movie.
You know what? The Notebook.
Okay.
People went apeshit for that movie. And it was moving and it was a good film, but I didn't feel... I don't think I cried. It was sad. I get it. But,
Well, I shut the fuck up about the Notebook. That's what you're...
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say that.
Alrighty.
For me. I'd be interested in what you have to say about that. But that doesn't count as my question.
No.
I just am interested.
I'm going to say No Country for Old Men.
Okay.
I didn't...
Did you enjoy it as a film, or did you think it was flawed and it wasn't worthy?
It took me... I wanted to fall asleep during that whole movie. I was super bored with it. I hated Javier Bardem's Dorothy Hamilton haircut.
It was weird.
It was odd placement. And I understand they were trying to be artsy fartsy. Like I get it, and
didn't land with you.
There is that moment for movies where I can appreciate that kind of thing.
Yeah,
but this I just couldn't, and I fucking hated it.
I hear it.
But people are always like, "Oh my god!" No,
it gets high regard.
It does,
and I would say I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't have said this needs to be in the top for me. So I'm with you there.
Okay,
I hear you.
Cool.
I support that. One question I have here is, what is one band or musician you would love to party with?
Probably my favorite guy, Butch Walker. He just seems like he would be such a fucking blast.
Yeah.
And he's just definitely known for cool years of partying, and he kind of jokes it now. He just drinks wine, but
we're kind of all there, aren't we?
Yeah.
Is that what happens in our 40s?
I think so.
Wine?
Yeah.
I'm down with it.
But yeah, I just think he seems a genuine person, but also probably pretty cocky, pretty self-inflated, but likes to have a blast. And
the last time I had a shot was with you for this show, and that's been weeks ago.
It seems like
it used
forever.
To be routine. Almost mandatory.
Yeah. Once dry January's over, who knows what's going to happen?
Oh boy, watch out.
What about you? What would you say?
For what?
For who would you want to party with?
Fish.
Absolutely. I don't know why I even asked you that, because I already knew.
Well,
but the viewers didn't.
I don't even know that they'd be fun to party with. To be honest, I don't think they party anymore. But back when they did party, or even now, I would be partying and just asking a bunch of questions. I would love for them to jam, just jam around me, just to be around. Like, it just seems like I idolize them so much. It'd be cool to just have human interaction, because I bet they're that like down to earth and awesome if you were to run into them. That's what I hope. But they say never meet your idols, because they always disappoint. Have you ever met an idol, like anyone famous? Or
let's see, who have I met famous? I met some old school Green Bay Packer football players back in the day, which was cool. I used to be a very, very big Green Bay fan.
So were you able to keep your cool, or?
Yeah, I was just like, my dad loves your autographs, sir. My dad's such a big fan, and he would love this so much. And it was awkward.
Our buddy partied with Tracy Morgan and had an amazing time. You've got to ask her the story.
Yeah, I did not know that she hung out.
He went to her old housing.
The one that we used to live in.
Yeah, crazy stuff. I've never partied with anyone I really met. I had a nervous interaction with the guy from Everclear, the lead guitarist and singer, because I loved him so much in the 90s. And he was doing like this acoustic single tour. And I talked Kelly into coming, and I just completely fell in love with him. We were like, it was a small venue, and I was just like, yeah. And then like later he was like signing things and shaking hands, and I was like, I love you. It was terrible. That one doesn't keep me up at night, but it's real embarrassing. I do not act well around fame. I feel on the inside like I'll be real cool, real chill, real Drea. And then what comes out is, oh man, your turn.
Best series finale of a show you really loved?
Ooh, I'm going to say the first thing that pops into my head was 6 Feet Under.
Oh my God, that was going to be mine.
Nice. First of all, amazing show, period.
Mm-hmm.
One of those that really got me in the beginning, because, spoiler alert, dies right off the bat, the dad.
Oh, that's right.
Like, fuck.
Because I love him as an actor.
And then the two, they fuck in the airport. And I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck, like there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And like the girl was so cool, the sister.
And Michael C. Hall, I've never, like, I loathed his character in so many ways, but like he played it so flawlessly.
Well.
And then to do
follow it up
Dexter.
with Dexter. Mind-boggling.
Yeah, unreal.
On sync there. Nice.
The show.
Oh, what's the best pickup line you know?
I don't want to gross you out. Sounds. I would lick my finger and then touch your shirt and then touch my shirt and say, let's go back to my house and get out of these wet clothes.
Oh my goodness. Is that for girls? Or
No, I would never,
for
like,
boys as well?
I mean, I've mainly seen
Only
boys.
for boys.
Yeah.
Oh, boys did this.
Yes.
And you saw.
And I'm like,
And you're like, I like that.
It's hilarious. And I always thought it's a cute one when you go up to somebody and you're like, how much does a polar bear weigh? Enough to break the ice.
Oh,
and
Lord.
it's kind of like, it's not.
It's terrible, but
it's,
in a sweet way.
Yeah, you're like, stop it.
Yeah. I don't have any and don't know any. No one's ever given me a pickup line.
When I was in high school, I was literally coming out of the ladies' room in high school, and some kid walks up to me. He's like, did it hurt? I was like, did what hurt? He's like, when you fell from heaven.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
Like, I've had some real, like, bangers used on me over the
Now,
years.
I did misunderstand one conversation once and got real offended and aggressive about it. And then later realized I was completely off and was like, oh, fuck. That's one that's like, whoopsies. I was at this church camp meeting thing. And I was chatting or standing beside this guy that was really cute. We were like kind of flirting and then just small talk. And then he said, we were speaking in Spanish and he says to me, do you want to practice? And I was like, practice? What do you mean? He's like, practice. And I was like, my God, what do you take me for? No, I didn't physically hit him or anything, but I was like, my God, no, we're Bible camp or whatever we were doing. And I was like, I don't want to practice with you. I probably did want to practice, but it felt real aggressive.
And you were like, I'm a lady and I'm not going to have that shit.
How dare. I'll blow you in the back of the gym. Let's go. And then years later, I was telling the story, maybe months, I don't know. I was telling the story to a friend.
Next day.
2 hours later. And it was just his dialect. What he was saying was platicar, which means to speak, to have a conversation. Let's just hang out and talk.
You were
And
like,
I
you
heard
son of a bitch.
practicar. And I was like, how dare you? Me? Practice with you, which translated to me, speak to you. So I'm the shitty one all
He's
the
like,
way
this
around.
fucking punta over here.
Do not practice with her, you guys. She's the worst. Oh man, I'm having a great time, but Snowy, the clock is
This is not going to be a minisode.
If we keep going, it's going to be a full-blown episode.
Yeah.
So I think one more question, but I'm having a great time with these. So let's keep these for later.
Yeah. I think it'd be great.
So you got one more.
Ooh. Okay, this is going to be a movie, film, TV question.
Okay.
What is your most prized possession?
Oh my goodness. Most prized possession. Oh, I've never even thought of that. I guess. My cat. If I had to run out of the house with one thing, it would have to be him.
Okay.
But if it's not a living
Not
thing.
a living thing.
Let's say, what do I need? I guess my phone. Gonna need it to like communicate and stuff.
Okay.
Call 911. Call
Right.
you crying. My house
You're
is
there.
on fire. I don't really think of. I have things like on the walls and in bookshelves and things like that, but I guess I don't think of it that way. I don't think in those terms, I guess. How about you?
So I would say like two things, besides obviously all of my pets.
Sure.
So I have you, Mr. Bugosty, who is my little ceramic. He's beat all to hell.
Oh, yes.
Ghost with wearing a top hat. It's a candle holder that I've had since I was 2. And that was a big thing when my parents split up years ago.
Yeah.
They gave me Mr. Bugosty, and that was a very emotional thing for me.
Sure.
But fortunately, my parents ended up getting their heads out of their asses and got back together.
That's right. Happy ending.
It's still like because I always light it on my mom's birthday to kind of start the fall season. And I have to send pictures like to her and my dad and my aunt. And then when I put them up every year, I have a little poem that I send everybody about Mr. Bugosty that like is him
awesome.
going away for the season.
Kind of like a Christmas letter.
Yeah. But he's got his own little poem that I write every year. So
I've always wanted to send out fake Christmas letters to my friends and family as if I were wealthy rich. Oh, we just got back from the Sahara. It was so dry, the heat. Anyway, Minneapolis, that's our daughter. She's 3. She's headed off to college. She's very bright.
Please do this.
Just have these asinine, like, lengthy letters. Maybe 2-3 pages of our adventures throughout the year of our wealthy adventures.
Is one of the best things I've ever heard in my life. And I think you should like not even like maybe it's some people that you like, but also people that you just like that suck and like not have a return address. So they have no idea who it's from. So they're trying to figure it out.
Good.
But like you addressed it to them. So like, Mr. and Mrs. like Bob and Joe Smith. Like
you know why. You know why, Bob.
My parents used to have in this drawer in our hutch growing up these, and I don't know if my mom ever sent them to anybody. If she did. But it would be like this like really gorgeous outside. And it's like, you're cordially invited. And it open it up to eat shit and die.
Oh shit. Love it.
Or it's like, we invite you to go straight to hell.
Fantastic.
And I just thought those were the coolest things I'd ever fucking seen when I was a kid.
One of the coolest things I saw recently was our friend had been gifted this box of chocolate, and when she opened it, it was in the form of a dick, and it said, "Eat a dick."
I have seen that. There's also a thing you can do where you can actually have like chocolate molds of your asshole done, and then you can send them to people.
No.
It's like
a bridge
you get a white chocolate, a milk chocolate, a dark chocolate. And be like, hello, you can eat my ass. I think it's awesome.
I'm done with this conversation.
But why? I want to keep going.
Okay, it is my last question, my friend.
Okay.
And this one is, what's your most unpopular food opinion?
Ooh. Okay, I have got a pretty gigantic palate. Most things are not off limits to me. I'm not. I eat a lot of. There's not much that I'm like, ooh, I hate that. That's not. So maybe a couple. Okay, 1, dill pickles and peanut butter are delicious. 2, I think most Italian restaurants are bullshit, and they aren't that good.
Okay.
I think that's probably a very unpopular food opinion.
I would imagine. There's a lot of diehard Italian food fans out there.
The U.S., I cannot speak for...
Sure. No, I would imagine it's a completely different experience. Similarly to Mexican street tacos are different than the street tacos or food truck tacos we would get here.
And I also want to say, I'm not saying that they're not... A lot of them can't be. They're not good. I think when I can go home and make something far better for far cheaper.
Why not?
Yeah. Or there's one place that I really like that's in a different city, but they always try to talk about how they make all their pasta in-house. And I literally had the same dish at a restaurant in town that like, I'm talking to
Superior.
a T. Like, no, it was
the same.
It was the same.
Gotcha.
And there was no...
So do you think they're not making their pasta in-house?
I 100% don't think they're making their pasta in-house.
And it's shitty. God.
But it's trying to talk a big fucking game. And I think, and I don't need, please don't, I don't make my own pasta. That's not.
It doesn't have to be that way, but don't advertise that you're that way if you're not that way. Mm-hmm. That's all. You don't have to. we're still going to eat that pasta. I mean, chances are
Yeah, I'm still
good.
gonna eat it, and I'm like, this is
You're
fine. It's
like
good.
one of the only Italian places in
Yeah.
town, so we'll probably eat that pasta, but you don't have to.
I just feel like, yeah,
You don't have to fake it. I don't like a faker.
Or it's like, I feel like I go and I try like marinara after marinara, and I'm like, they're all mediocre. Or they like, this one has, you know, nothing in it besides like, just like, is this just tomatoes? That just give me tomato paste? Like, this one has
That's not
got
gonna cut it.
no salt, you know, no
Gonna
salt.
need some spices.
Yeah, like, there's just, yeah, and I, you know,
It's easy to go wrong for you. It sounds.
yeah, it's very easy for them to go wrong for me.
Okay. Well,
So
I like that opinion.
What about yours?
Unpopular food opinions. I'm not a very adventurous. I don't care for sushi. I don't see the big deal.
Okay.
I mean, I'm fine with eating a California roll, but I don't need. Some people go ape shit over it.
Like myself. I think it's delicious.
Yeah, I think it's fine, but it's not. It hasn't revolutionized my life.
You were not like, guys, sushi tonight. We're gonna get a boat.
No, definitely not. That's not a conversation you're gonna hear coming from my side. I'll go eat sushi, but it's not my go-to, not my favorite, and often it seems overpriced.
It's
Like, what are
so
we doing
expensive.
here?
Yeah.
Why is this so much? These 2 pieces of rice and this, square of meat. Like, what's happening here? Well, this has been fun, Snelly.
Yeah, this has been a good
I
time.
could go on.
I could too, but we promised them a mini-sode,
we
not a
can't.
long-sode.
It can't be. It can't be this way. But I think we should revisit this sooner than later.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
Absolutely. Guys, thanks for joining. Hope you had a fun time hearing a few of our favorite things.
Yes, we really appreciate you guys supporting us. Please reach out to us, say what's up, give us ideas for movies. Tell us some of your favorite movies from different decades. You can write to us at realfuntimespodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, go to the Instagram, go to the Facebook, go to the YouTubes, the Spotify, the Pandoras, Apple, Amazon,
Google,
all of it.
yeah.
Check us out. Come hang out, and we'll be seeing you in about a week.
Yes, we will. Bye.
Good night.